Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to Cuphead, probably one of the most difficult and stylistically impressive games to come out in recent memory. It's fantastically done. A lot of people have issues with how hard it is, but personally, I like it a lot. It's good, and with the advent of new DLC coming out in the near future, I'm really excited for the delicious last course, so I figured we'd go ahead and, re-up ourselves. So, without further ado, let's get started. Once upon a time, in a magical place called Inkwell Isle, there were two brothers named Cuphead and Mugman. They lived without a care under the watchful eye of the wise Elder Kettle. One day, the two boys wandered far from home and, despite the Elder Kettle's many warnings, ended up on the wrong side of the tracks and entered the Devil's Casino. Inside, Cuphead and Mugman soon found themselves on a winning streak at the craps table. "Hot dog!" exclaimed King Dice, the casino's sleazy manager. "These fellas can't lose!" "Nice run, boys," laughed a newcomer. The brothers gasped. It was the casino's owner, the devil himself. "Now how about we raise the stakes?" he suggested with a toothy grin. "Win one more roll and all the loot in the casino is yours," the devil boomed. "But if you lose, I'll have your souls. Deal?" Cuphead, blinded by easy riches, nodded and grabbed the dice for a throw. "Good gosh, Cuphead, no!" cried Mugman, for he understood the danger. But it was too late. "Snake eyes!" laughed the devil while slamming the floor. "You lose!" The brothers trembled in fear as he loomed over them. "Now bow them souls." The brothers pleaded for their very lives. "There must be another way to repay you," Mugman stammered. "Yes, please, mister," Cuphead added. "Perhaps there is," the devil snickered, pulling out a parchment. "I have here a list of my runaway debtors. Collect their souls from me, and I might just pardon you two mugs." "Now get going!" the devil roared, kicking the boys out most rudely. "You have till midnight tomorrow to collect every one of those souls. Otherwise, I'll be the one collecting yours." Cuphead and Mugman were frightened terribly and ran away as fast as they could. "Come on, Mug," panted Cuphead. "We have to find the Elder Kettle. He'll know what to do." And thus, the adventures of our intrepid protagonists, Cuphead and Mugman, in a fight for their lives, begins now. "Hello, sir."
"What a fine pickle you boys have gotten yourselves into. Oh, I know you don't want to be pawns of the devil, I mean, who would? But if you refuse, I can't bear to imagine your fates. You must play along for now, collect those contracts. Can't tell you why, but you'd best be ready for some nasty business. Your dead friends won't be very friendly once you confront them.
In fact, I expect they'll transform into terrible beasts.
So take this potion so they won't hang you out to dry. It will give you the most remarkable magical abilities. Now go to my writing desk and use the mystical inkwell there. You need to prepare yourself for a scrapple zoo."
"You don't say, old man." So yeah, let's probably go get started with probably one of the most endearing tutorials of all time. I love it, the tutorial. Thank you, Mr. Entertainer. So we have the token crouch and ducking, which will be useful, but not as useful as tapping for the short jump and holding for high. So slight differences, but very unique. And speaking of differences, I actually have the dash mapped to something that it was not defaultly set to. So for me personally, I just like left trigger for that and right trigger to shoot. So hold for rapid fire and right bumper to stay in place. So yeah, shooting's gonna be something we're gonna be doing a lot, and in 8 cardinal directions might be a little difficult, but not as difficult as getting used to the parry slap. This is something you're definitely gonna wanna master sooner rather than later, especially if you're going for high scores. The timing is a little weird, but once you kind of get it, then you get it, and it's very exciting to pull them off in the heat of battle. And every time we do it, it builds up our super meter. So that's nice. In addition to that, if you're playing with a friend, you can also save them. Thank you. And I think that also regains your strength. So keep that in mind because you use your super meter for EX moves. Eventually we'll be getting super moves that require all 5 of your meter cards to be filled. But for the most part, you might just want to use them regularly. And last but not least, we have coins to collect, which will allow us to purchase things from the shop. So we're going to keep that in mind because definitely going to want to purchase some upgrades as soon as we possibly can. Definitely make our life a bit easier. As well as these load screens. They're really nice on the Xbox One version. Might be cutting some of those out. All right, anything else for us, sir? Anything?
You'll have to lay out all those debtors to move on. Now shake a leg.
Sure. I'm ready for a tussle. Let's go. Even though I'd love to just sit there and enjoy the music. The songs in this game are so good. But check it out. There's an overworld, and although there's not a whole lot to do, I really like the way it looks. And the theme is pretty jingling. I like it a lot. You get to walk around and enjoy the music and also talk to various NPCs, such as this guitar-playing Applehead. Hey, fellas, looks like you're in for it now, huh? Well, I used to be the same way, always getting into trouble, running, jumping, shooting, but now I prefer just strolling around and going to the pictures. But hey, let me give you a hand, take this. And he gives us 3 coins, probably the most useful NPC in the entire game. So with 4 coins now at our disposal, let's go ahead to the shop because before we do anything else, we're going to want to upgrade at least one thing. At Pork Ryan's Emporium. I love his voice. All right, so we have a pretty decent selection of items here, including a shotgun spread, which is great, the smoke bomb, which is invaluable, and the roundabout, which is my personal favorite. And I was kind of grappling with what I probably wanted to collect for this first early part of the stage, and for all intents and purposes, a lot of these are extremely useful, but not nearly as much as either the smoke bomb or the roundabout, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and get. Eventually we'll get the lobber as well. That one's pretty good. But yes, thank you, sir. I appreciate doing all this grand business with you. Eventually we'll be getting all of the items, but for now,
you got to equip those new purchases if you want to use them. Look at your equip card, ya bums.
Well, thank you for putting it so kindly. Here is our lovely equip card, and although we're a little light on, some of our badges, we're gonna go ahead and replace the pea shooter, standard issue weapon, long range, with the roundabout, great coverage with average damage, and backward for maximum range, and that's just gonna be our default equip. Meanwhile, our pea shooter can go in slot B, which we can swap to at any point, and eventually we'll be getting some supers and charms, but for now, we have none of those. Now, to progress over the lands and, get to other parts of the island, we need to beat boss stages, and as much as I know you guys probably want to see those right away, we're actually going to be starting with a run and gun stage, Forest Follies, and it's mostly so that we can get more coins, but also so we're not going straight into the heat of a boss fight first thing in the game. Now, these are moderately difficult. After each stage, you're going to be graded on a variety of things, such as how fast you beat the level, whether or not you take damage, and the number of parries you do. Parries are kind of annoying to get early on, but anything pink in the stage, you're going to want to go ahead and parry it, because not only will it almost allow us to get hurt, but it also will help us get our super up, so that's really nice. Enemies will shoot projectiles as well, and don't forget to grab your coins. You can only collect them once per stage, but it's not really that bad, so, ooh, here we go. Oh, I missed it, damn. All right, well, that's okay. So I will be attempting to go for perfect running gun stages and at least A- stages for bosses. We're gonna be playing on regular, and depending on how people like the series, I might go back and get S ranks, which are only possible when you play on expert. And you can't play expert until after you've beaten the game on regular, so we're starting from scratch. That's how it's gonna work. Now excuse me, sir. Over here, we're probably gonna wanna lay down a couple of those EX moves. There we go, get this acorn maker out of here, and we're almost out of here. So time is of the essence, and getting hurt is not something you wanna do. But we will be going back to this stage and getting a pacifist rank. and I just didn't want to do it now because I don't really have the right equipment for it to make it easier for me. So yeah, pacifist runs, we essentially need to go through the entirety of the stage without killing a single enemy. And here, tallying up our scores, as the number shows up golden, then that's when we know we're golden. So a perfect score is an A+, and typically I would say some stages are made way easier on a pacifist run, but that might just be me. Mostly because you can take damage and still get through it, kind of damage boost through people, and it'll be a fun time doing those. So we'll definitely be doing a revisit there, and it actually will take us somewhere new. And we're actually gonna explore this for just a minute because, well, why the hell not? This is gonna be pretty useful for our deading collecting needs. How's it going, Miss Fish? Be gone, spirits. Oh wait, you're real. I was about to hit you with the old parry move. That's how you deal with ghosts around here. Is it now? Only a nitwit tries shooting someone who ain't really there. Speaking of not being places, would you fellas mind moving on? You're spooking the fish. Okay, so a fish that is fishing for fish appears to be in a paradox of unbridled proportions. But here we've got ourselves our first kind of optional mausoleum, and we're going to be doing all three of these because, well, for starters, they're not difficult. But they're also spooky. Oh man. So this is actually a really good place to kind of hone in on your parrying abilities. Obviously, you'd be a nitwit to think that shooting these guys would be a good idea, so don't even think about it. Make smart decisions, use the parry, and the main objective is just keep it away from the legendary chalice. Just let no harm befall our dear friend here who will be having another adventure with soon enough. Still don't have a solid release date, but it's tentatively 2019, so I'm excited for that. And we just have to kind of hold out for a little bit, at least until the scary organ music starts playing, because that's typically when the stage will end. But the prize you get, I would say, is generally worth it. I like it. Some people could probably do without, but here we go. Victory! Victory indeed! Hooray! We saved the chalice. How's it going, sweet cheeks? Gosh, I don't know how to thank you boys for saving me. Where are my manners? I didn't even introduce myself. I'm known as the Legendary Chalice. Pleased to meet you. I was searching for magic and got trapped by ghosts. Wait, aren't you not? But anyways, she gives us the gift of being a female love interest, and we're gonna go and visit those other mausoleums. But by saving the Legendary Chalice and thusly earning ourselves great magic, we end up blowing it up. Don't ask me how that makes sense, but we unlocked our first super, which is fantastic because it's probably one of the more useful ones. Dear me, you mustn't forget that magical super art to have to be equipped. Alright, at least she was kind about it, and she didn't call us a bum. So we'll go ahead and throw that puppy on there because we have the energy beam, a devastating attack spills from our head, horizontal only. So yeah, that's going to be useful, I think. And you'll be able to activate that when your 5 super cards are filled up. Otherwise, you'll just be shooting the EX move that is unique to the weapon you're using. So we've still got a little bit of time left, so I say we go ahead and buy one last weapon. And I think because I find it so useful and I rarely have it unequipped, as much as I'd like the spread, I think we're gonna go with the smoke bomb. You will not take damage during a dash. It's a fantastic maneuver. And then we got the parry sugar. Not really useful in any circumstance I've seen, especially when it becomes second nature. So I would never recommend using the sugar. But let's go ahead and equip our first charm so that we're nice and ready for our very first boss fight. A great defense maneuver. Obviously, different playstyles dictate that smoke bomb might not be the best thing for us, but personally, I'm used to it and I like it. So let's go ahead and get started with our first scenario, the root pack in Botanic Panic. And we're going to be doing regular for every single one of these stages, starting on. For the first part of Inkwell Isle, it's not too bad. But the first of the root pack is one Mr. Potato Man. He's going to be shooting dirt, and every 4th shot will be something we can parry. Now this kind of follows the same rules as the run and gun stage, and we need to not take damage and also get 3 parries. So we've already got our super ready to go, so I think we'll go ahead and activate that. When our new friend, Mr. Onions, comes on up, here you go. Boom. And unfortunately, yeah, looking a little sad. And so you can still parry some of the teardrops here. I just wouldn't recommend it because they're kind of hard to anticipate. So there's phase 2 down, and now for the final part is Mr. Hypnosis Carrot. He has given himself the loveliest temple rubs. Alright, so the homing carrots are not fun, and watch out for this. There's the invisible dash, very useful. You actually become invisible and will not take damage if you go through enemies, whereas the regular dash you will get hurt. So get out of here. I'll probably need to use an EX here. Maybe I'll go for the super though, because he's almost dead. Here we go. Done. Our first knockout. And prepare for 18 more of those because, man, it's just the heart and soul of this game are the boss fights, and they're so good. Even just the beginning of the game is just so good. So we got ourselves an A+ score. Like I mentioned, you can get S ranks if you're playing on expert, but you have to beat the game first, and that'll be a fun thing to get to when that time comes. But now that we collected our first soul contract, we can head down here, and life will be good. The Root Pack soul contract. Cool. Made out to the devil's office, no worries. So, can we even talk over here to you? No. Just little dead ends abound. And this man.
I'll be a monkey's uncle if I'm putting my moolah in the bank. For all I know, the devil probably controls the place too.
You don't say.
They'll never get all of my gold if I spread it all around, and if some Joe happens to find a coin or two, good for him. That's what I say. Harumph.
Alright, you old man. Thanks though, because we'll be taking you up on that. There are, I think, 10 gold coins to find out in the overworld, so we'll hopefully do that. And I hear ghosts. But anyways, Ribian croaks in Clip Joint Calamity. Let's do it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to Battletoads 1930. Welcome. So what we're looking for is little croaks down here to shoot off red Hadoukens at us because, there we go. I think this is the only place in the fight that we can get those, and by getting those 3 early on, it basically guarantees us a super. So let's go and use that. And Ribby up there is going to be doing his business, so that's great. Shooting off his little fire friends. Okay, so phase 2 is starting, which is nice. So we'll avoid that, and we'll just keep shooting. And what you're gonna watch out here is on the left. I don't know what he's shooting at us, but ooh, that was the wrong way. You have the influence of wind here, so a very memorable boss fight. I like it a lot. However, yes, open up, sir. I will be dumping my tea into your mouth, and it's not decaf. Final phase is a coin slot machine, and what we're going to want to do is get good results. That's actually probably the easiest one. He'll only take damage when his crotch is open, but it's not too bad. What we're avoiding are the devil head, gets a little quick there, scenario. So that one's probably easiest, but there we go. Those parries, I believe, do not count towards your score at the end, and that's not what I wanted, even though it's probably considerably easier. Just avoid the sides, and sooner and later, there we go. Done. Man, I love this game. It's so good. Whew. So, we should have probably A+ that, I think. Pretty solid. I practiced this for quite a while before recording, so I'm fairly confident on these earlier stages, but there's no guarantees in this game because there's still a lot of random elements. Enemies will attack you at different times, and you'll get bad cycles and just so on. So things can get very bad for you regardless of how good you play. And that'll give us a nice little shortcut over to the mausoleum as we collect the soul contract of Ribian Croaks. Thank you. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, I think that's pretty much all we have for today. I'm not sure what the fish says after we blow everything up. So I hear you fellas gave some of them ghosts what for? Glad someone finally sorted them out. Might make the fishing even better here. Then again, why not? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the dead would influence the tides and the fish, but that'll be everything we do for today. And next time on Cuphead, we might actually just take a little bit of a shortcut here, which will actually get you an achievement so that we can do our next run and gun stage, Treetop Trouble. This one we will be doing a pacifist run for now that we have the smoke dash, and I'm really excited for that. What do you have to say, sir?
What are you looking at?
A chip? Is that my fault? I've been busy fighting off those casino devils. Oh, are you someone I need to talk to? Yeah, he's gotta save up to get his blade fixed. So help me, I wish someone would bust that King Dice one. Yes, I will bust him one indeed. But thanks for joining. Next time, we'll probably end up finishing most of the rest of this first area, so join me next time, and we'll have some fun with the run and gun. My name's Allison Cruz, and I'll see you guys later.